Pia Lindstrom, and Pia's going to be reading that story if you'll stay in your seats.
I'm delighted to be here. Thank you, Dan, for asking me to read this story. I had to say to the author, I'm probably not the kind of person or the type of person he expected. We will have to read this about the powwow, but we will all use our imagination just a bit here. It is called Magic Shirts. Powwow season has arrived, and as usual, everything is being done now that should have been done during the winter and spring. Of course, during the winter, no one does much except complain about the weather and put off doing that breechcloth, moccasin repair, beadwork, dress, or headdress until next week, right after that favorite show finishes for the season, or the time and energy arrive, or whatever excuse works, until it doesn't anymore and suddenly it's here, summer, and there's a gathering every weekend. My excuse is that I still had plenty of time to do the necessary things until time cleared out faster than Lolo Jones clears hurdles and left me scrambling with all the other procrastinators to get everything that was supposed to be done yesterday done now. Welcome to the Powwow Trail, where you can always find people sitting along the dance arena in cars, RVs, parking lots, tents, and hotel rooms, working on something at the last minute before the grand entry. I'm one of those people, sitting outside my tent, making those last-minute adjustments, trying to stitch a blown-out moccasin or replacing a small, iridescent copper suncatcher feather in my headdress. This year, I had to get new ribbon shirts made because I have only 3 left, and one of those looks like it was on that raft with Tom Hanks in Castaway. The other 2 are, quite soft and comfy. But if I pull just a little ribbon, it will not only come off in my hand, but will also bring some of the shirt material along for the party. I mean, it's happened before at the most inopportune times, like right in the middle of a dance-off. So I enlisted the niece, AKA the tough girl, due to her shooting, truck driving, hay hauling, and ruling the younger siblings' abilities to take me up island. That's anywhere west of Riverhead in Respeak, to a fabric store to pick out material. The niece is a magic girl, the eldest granddaughter of the eldest granddaughter, who's my eldest sister, who is the repository of a lot of the midwife and herbal knowledge left by the maternal grandmother, who knew about such things and other stuff that I'm not privy to and honestly quite happy not to know anything about. I'm more like an instrument of their will, going into the woods to look for the herbs and the plants that they use for whatever. The niece also has nascent powers of her own that I don't know or want to know anything about. I do know that she's fun to be around. She can shoot a bow, shotgun, or rifle better than most guys. She rides motorcycles, quads, horses equally well, and she has a great sense of humor. That last attribute being very important if you're taking your fashion-conscious uncle, fashion-challenged uncle, on a shopping trip. I like the old school look, like the outfits you see in paintings by Charles Bird King, or George Catlin, or Carl Bodmer. Nice. Simple, floral, or calico prints in natural colors. The niece picked fabrics of green, blue, yellow, and they were beautiful. And she really is a whole lot better at picking out ribbon to accentuate the colors than I am or could ever hope to be. I joked with the counter girl who was wearing interesting makeup. As I watched her cut up the cloth, wrap it nicely, ring me up, I asked her if you needed any special training to work in a big fabric store, and she sighed, as only a bored teen can, and said, No, you just have to apply and show up on time. The niece rolled her eyes and muttered, "Oh my God," either at my lameness or the Up Island girl's response, before grabbing the bag and walking quickly out of the store. But the fun was just beginning. The next part was getting the shirts made. The women who make my ribbon shirts are from a large family full of magic girls, all of them mothers, daughters, sisters, nieces, and aunts. They have the mischievous, acerbic, and quick sense of humor that I'm so used to in Shinnecock women. They speak very quietly, and they smile a lot. I mean, which is really nice, but scary at the same time. I mean, I love to listen to them talking to each other in their secret language, discussing what each shirt should look like. It's like hearing sparrows singing in the branches of a cedar overhead. I mean, you know they're saying something important, but you're unsure just what, and then they'll turn and look your way and laugh before continuing. But they are sorceresses, with a needle and a thread and a sewing machine, making new ribbon shirts that evoke the aura of those classic paintings. And every shirt they've made has seen me through long days dancing in the summer heat and into the fall's chilly nights. Sometimes I look down while I'm wearing one, and I can feel the energy of those lovely women, what they put into it, and I feel as if nothing, nor no one can touch me, harm me, or make me feel anything but happy. I feel pretty in a Muhammad Ali kind of way, like I've got on Frodo's elf-woven shirt. It feels like magic when I put one on, and that's why I call them magic shirts. Now I have other part of my regalia that I consider magic too, beaded moose-hide Abenaki moccasins, picked out and bartered over by a Narragansett friend, and a carved wooden turtle medallion that my sister gave me, and the leather from my breechcloth. A Shinnecock woman chose and cut the fringe. She thought I'd murder it with a pair of scissors. I beaded turtles on the breech by the same woman who makes my shirts, and white turquoise earrings acquired during a trip to my nephew Dine's in-laws in New Mexico. An eagle feather fan gifted by the Narragansetts at an honor ceremony for dancing at their August meeting, which they've held for 300 plus years. And a turkey feather headdress provided by two cousins who shot and ate the turkey. And they smoked the skin with the feathers attached so they would stay on until you can't dance anymore. Around my waist, I wear a beaded leather belt I made for my sister while I was in the Navy, and she returned it to me for good luck. 2 silver turtles on silver chains hang from my neck. One is from my love inside the shirt next to my skin. The other's outside my shirt collar. It's from 2 medicine women that live in a little house bordered by a forest, a cemetery, and a small highway. I found out the hard way that I have to keep them separated or else they get to scraping and tangled up and damn near choke me while I'm dancing. And this year, a woman who makes jewelry from sea glass will make a necklace for me. I think anything that the ocean has cleaned and sculpted over time might give me an edge in patience and stamina. I mean, it all counts as magic to me, even though I'm a 21st century Indian. I still believe that something unseen and unknown got us this far along. So I might as well believe in magic. Can't hurt, I guess. It's taken almost 15 years for this current outfit to come together. It's an ongoing process, 15 years. I've been in and out of the powwow arena for most of my life. I mean, though I'm no longer a young man, whenever I'm in that arena, wherever it might be, time is suspended, and I'm again that 8-year-old boy called into a small teepee by an old man during the Shinnecock powwow and given a pair of bells for being good and energetic dancers, and told that dance would be there when there was nothing else. I remember being really excited, and I truly believed that those bells helped me dance better and longer. I mean, I didn't know what the old man was talking about then, but I've come to realize he was right. I see how moving my feet to the drum keeps my heart beating strong and keeps my head clear, and how it takes away aches and pains and sorrows and what-ifs for a while. You know, like magic. Regalia, or outfits, are always being worked on, updated, tweaked, adjusted. I mean, my beaded moccasins have been resold 3 times with moose hide brought from the same booth on the powwow trail. I mean, ribbon shirts are always fading and disintegrating from sweat and the bleaching sun. I usually can only get 2 or 3 years out of one if I rotate them properly. And feathers, they fall off the headdress. Necklaces pop, jewelry and metal armbands have to be constantly polished. Leather ties deteriorate and need to be checked constantly, or they'll let go of whatever's being held in the middle of the contest, meaning a disqualification. I mean, if it's a major part of the regalia. Once, during the Shinnecock powwow, I faced my Narragansett friend in a dance-off. As the first drum beats began, I swung my war axe, and I watched as the cluster of hawk feathers representing myself and my 4 sisters detached from the axe head and arched into the sunlight. It hung there in the air for what seemed like forever, and I wanted to be as free as it was, if only for a few seconds or a lifetime. I mean, it was an automatic disqualification, but we continued on and danced hard, the drum group giving us a smoking hot song. I presented my friend with those feathers as a tribute to an honorable and spectacular contest. I feel like those feathers sometimes, wanting to break the ties of this world, fly away to a place where I can dance forever, my feet never touching the earth. But then, who knows? Perhaps one day I'll have gathered enough articles of magic and do just that. Thank you.
Thank you, Pia. Thank you very much.